Oh, wrong button. Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out my broadcast today. My name is Jonathan, and today is day 289 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. If this is your first time checking out my channel, a little bit about me. I'm 39 years old, married. We have 4 children, and I've been overweight my whole life. I've done a few different things to lose weight in the past, and I've had pretty good success, but I've never maintained any of that success, and I've always gained it back. So, I found myself last year over 500 pounds, and I knew I had to do something, and that's kind of where this all started from. All I knew is that I needed to commit more time than I've ever committed to a diet. Usually I focus a lot on the weight, and I hit the goal and then it falls apart. And so that's why I decided I needed to do it for 3 years. That would be the longest by far that I'd ever stuck to anything when it came to my weight loss. And then the other is to not just lose a good amount of weight, but to lose enough weight to put me into a category of not being morbidly obese. And because in the past I've set goals of losing 75 pounds or 100 pounds, and I would have reached all those goals I've ever had with this diet already. Like 200 pounds. I would have, that would have been a huge goal for me, and it still is a great accomplishment so far. But I knew I needed to lose a lot of weight and get to a healthy weight to see what it's like. Cause I've never been a healthy weight my whole life. My goal weight is 220 pounds. I haven't been that light since I was 16. So that's over 20 years ago. And so, that's what I started with, those 2 big things in mind. I jump started it with an extended water fast, initially planned for 30 days and pushed it to 42 days. I was able to lose 90 pounds in that time. And during that time, I did a lot of research about what I was going to do, and not the plan going in, but I switched to a whole food plant-based diet with no added salt, oil, or sugar in the ingredients that we have for the most part. And it's been amazing. I've lost another 120 pounds on top of that. I've lost over 200 pounds in 9 months. So, that's kind of where I'm at. Like I said, it's day 289. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear them. Carrie saying hello. Hi, Carrie. Hope everything's going great at home. I'd love to hear how you guys are doing on your diets. If you're succeeding or if you're having difficulty, what's keeping you from getting started, because that's a big thing for me, is that I constantly just wish I would have started sooner and not waited for anything, I wish I was further along, because especially right now, I'm kind of in this period where it's just like this long, it's going to be, I've done great so far and I'm doing great. But I'm not going to have that 90 pounds in 42 days happen again. It's just not the way it works. So, but yeah, I'd love to know how you guys are doing. I do appreciate all the support I get from you guys as well. It really has been helping me along the way. Since we talked on Friday, I've done a lot of standing and walking around and being on my feet for sure. We had an event, a local fair in our community, that we set up a booth with our nonprofit in combination with a restroom trailer. So we set up a family restroom with our nonprofit that provided a portable restroom trailer that had like actual toilets for people that wanted to use them. It was really great having it there Friday night. There was a lot of families that were using, that were at the fair to watch the fireworks that they did that evening. So there were a lot of families that came up and were just real happy that they had a place that had lights and running water and that they could kind of go in with their kids, because portable potties or portable toilets are not fun to go in. Kids get scared of them in the daylight and then especially at night. So it was nice to have, to be there, but it was a lot of being on my feet, helping people in and out of the trailer and things like that. So I ended up being, I had my arm surgery a couple weeks ago, and really this weekend, my knee was really frustratingly painful throughout the whole weekend. I think a lot of that has to do with pushing up, like getting up and down out of the chair and just everything in general. I don't have my left arm like I have, I can pull myself up with my right arm. I can't do that with my left arm because it's in this brace. So I think it just put a lot of additional strain on my left knee, which is also frustrating because I know that had I injured myself this way 10 months ago, I don't know what I would have done. I honestly, the most honest thing I could say about this injury, if I had this 10 months ago, I would not have been able to wipe my own ass. But aside from that, there's many other difficulties that would have been arisen from me being 500 pounds and having, getting up off of a couch or getting up out of bed or getting dressed or doing anything. Putting shoes on would have been impossible had I had this injury a year ago. The event that we did for that week, I never would have survived. I would never have done I never would have taken on the work that I took on had I not been lost the weight. That would have been one of the differences though with that. But anyways, so my knee hurting is really frustrating that it hurts, and it's frustrating that it would have hurt even more a year ago, and it wouldn't if I lose the next 100 pounds when I get it off. Hopefully that pain wouldn't have happened at all. I mean, getting up and down with 200 less pounds is amazingly different. Another 100 is going to be awesome from where I'm at now. It's weird to even imagine a scenario where I'm standing up and I don't have 100 extra pounds of fat on my body, So, but we spent most of the day, Friday evening, I spent dealing with the booth we had set up, and then Saturday all day was on my feet, either working the booth or Carrie worked it for a while, and I went home with the kids, but that is still not really a break from anything. And so we were busy from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. on Saturday. And then Sunday we had to go in and get everything cleaned up. Carrie took a couple of our kids to hang out with my in-laws. And then our youngest ones were watched by another one of our in-laws in town while I dealt with getting everything closed up with the booth and things like that yesterday. So really had an extremely busy weekend. And really I'm exhausted. Just overall, I've been just wiped out for this last month. Since probably the 16th of last month, I feel like I've just been going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and hopefully we can find a chance to rest here soon. We did get to bed at a decent time last night and got to sleep a decent amount yesterday. But I really felt like I was hitting a wall yesterday, especially by the end of the day. And I needed to get some sleep. It was much appreciated last night. But then I had a doctor's appointment today, about my arm, my distal bicep tendon repair. Really, it was, I don't know. It felt like the appointment was a formality, or they just needed me to come in. They did remove the stitches. There was 4 or 5 stitches that they had put in, that the nurse came in with a little pliers and cut them out and pulled them out. Real simple, no issues with that. It's been annoying having my arm locked in at a 90-degree angle for the last 10 days. And they kind of, they were just, like I said, this appointment was really just to get the stitches removed, make sure that I didn't have any pain or numbness in my fingers, or anything from the surgery that could have gone wrong. And then, they want to make sure my brace fit well as well. And I had asked to get it set so that I could open up my arm a little bit, because being stuck at 90 degrees is kind of a pain to deal with getting things done. I feel like a robot or a crash test dummy every time I want to do anything. I'm able to move my shoulder, in all directions, but my arms, anyways. So they did open up the brace a little bit for me. And it's kind of a nice thing about this brace is that even with them having that open, because what happened, I was very happy to get it opened up, and I'm very excited that I am going to be able to do a little bit more with my arm. I had the doctor's appointment like a couple hours ago, and, so I've been at my desk, and one of the things I was hoping to be able to do is to access my keyboard a little bit better. I haven't had a huge difficulty with the brace locked at 90 degrees, but I knew, like, I have to move my keyboard to a position where I can type. And so being able to open up is going to allow me to do the work I need to do a little bit better. But I was... so we got it, adjusted so I can open my arm up 20 degrees from 90 degrees, and then down 20 degrees. When I got in my car, one of the things that's really nice about this brace is there's a latch here that I can pop that and it's free. So like when I drive, I'm able to, instead of having the weight of my arm resting on my neck, I'm able to put it like on the armrest of the car. Or when I'm sitting here in a more relaxed position, I can set it like on the armrest of my chair here. So I've been doing that for like the last 2 hours. In fact, I got in my car, I unhooked it, and I took this off. And, I ended up leaving it in my car when I got back to my office and didn't really think much of it until I was getting ready to do the stream here. And I was noticing some pain in my bicep. And I kind of realized that I didn't have the sling on anymore, and that my arm was carrying not only the weight of itself, but the additional weight of the brace. And I was opening and closing my arm, which is something that I think it was fatiguing my bicep, just opening and closing it that 20 degrees. And so I actually, right before the stream, I locked it in the 90 degree position, and then have things buckled. I locked it in the 90 degree position and put the sling back on, just because my arm was starting to fatigue from it. And so it's one of those things where I wish everything was 100% right away, but it's not going to be that way. And it's going to be a slow process to rehab, or a slower process than I want to rehab. But everything went well at the doctor's office. The lady that was fitting my brace, she got me this white sleeve that I have on underneath it to help kind of reduce any chafing, or the brace feels weird when it's directly on my skin. So I was wrapping it with like an Ace bandage wrap. And so that's nice to have that. She gave me a few of those sleeves or tubes, I guess, that are just cut to length. We got set up to do physical therapy. I'm doing my first physical therapy appointment this Thursday. But it's at like 7:45 in the morning, which works out really well because it is in the town I live in, or it's on the other side of town, but it's in my town. And I should be able to get to it relatively quickly in the morning. And I would imagine that with the start time of 7:45, I'll be able to get, I'm able to get the mornings covered at work. So it's nice that I'll be able to do that first appointment. Then hopefully my other appointments will be that work with my schedule as well, because it's kind of a pain. Especially, I think they want me to go 2 or 3 times a week is what the recommendation was. So it's going to be some time working on this. The doctor said they don't want me, extending my arm fully right now. We'll see what the physical therapist has me do. The appointment on Thursday is just an evaluation. So it's not even, I don't think there's really going to be any treatment. It's just going to be them checking my range of motion, my level of pain, and other factors like that. Let's see. It was just, like I said, it was a busy weekend, and I had the doctor's appointment today. I feel like I had something else, but I didn't write it down. It really, with the diet this weekend, I guess that was one of the difficulties that we had, was keeping fed this weekend for whatever reason. I don't know if it's just we haven't really been able to get back in the swing of things. I think it was, I guess it's been 2 weeks since the end of the month, but for me this weekend, I was really not able to sit down and eat like an actual meal at a proper time. I felt like I was eating, but there was, I think, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, each of those nights, dinner was after 9 p.m. Thursday and Friday, it was later. Even Friday might have been the latest. Now that I think about it, but yeah, Carrie says we've been so busy. Yeah, it's been hectic, and it's kind of something that we've thrown on ourselves too. Like I said, I wouldn't have thrown the challenges in front of myself at the end of July unless I had lost this weight. And I think that we wouldn't have, done as much had we not been losing the weight. And one of the things I was going to pop up here, and I have to figure out the date that I might be able to, but we had an event almost a year ago where we celebrated my parents' 50th anniversary. And I'm going to have to get with Carrie, and we're going to have to recreate this photo a year later. But I was trying to figure out what the date was on that event, because we had, okay, so it must have been after. So it must have been in September. My parents' anniversary was at the end of August, and or is at the end of August. And so we had a 50th for them last year. And one of the most amazing photos of me and Carrie were taken. And there is my half of the photo, which, and so I was just thinking about kind of the difference from a year ago to today, and how like I was talking about earlier about the having this injury a year ago. And I don't know, I mean, I had other things like feet problems and stuff like that, but like going through a surgery, the whole hassle of being 500 pounds to try to go through surgery would have been a whole thing. I'm sure my numbers would have been ridiculous as far as blood pressure and all of that stuff. So, um, yeah, it's the worst photo ever. Um, so, uh, the, yeah, so but yeah, so that's what got me thinking about where I was a year ago at this time. I drive by the spot where this photo was taken all of the time, and I think about like how crazy it is to not be that 520 pound person anymore. Just incredible. So yeah, worst photo ever. And so yeah, it just made me also, it makes me so grateful for where I'm at now and what I've been able to get done. And really, in the grand scheme of things, it hasn't taken me that long of an amount of time. And even if it did go slower, it wouldn't have been that much slower. And, you know, and even if it took me a year to lose the 200 pounds or a year and a half to lose the 200 pounds, in the grand scheme of, I mean, the number of years that I've added to the end of my life because of the choices that I've made in the last year are immeasurable. I mean, it's not, I mean, the time it's taking me to make this change and to go from 520 pounds down to my goal is a fraction of the years that I'm putting on at the end of my life. And so I'm actually gaining time by doing what I'm doing right now. I'm yeah. giving myself the reward of more life by doing what I'm doing now. And it's the best. I mean, I walked into that doctor's office every time I've walked into the doctor's office since I have been injured with 100% confidence in, because even hopping on the scale and being 315 pounds, I mean, that's obese. That is big. But they had record from when I went and saw the doctor and got my blood work done, because I had made a comment to one of the nurses prior to surgery. I was like, oh yeah, well, I've lost a lot of weight, you know. And so for whatever, I made that comment about something, and she kind of said, oh, that's nice, you know, but we didn't go into a conversation. After I had the surgery, that same nurse was doing something, and she said, oh, you did lose a lot of weight. I saw you were at like 390. And I was trying to figure out where she got 390 from. And the only thing I could think of is when I had finished my fast, I went and saw my our family doctor and just had a physical done and had my blood work done. And I must have been 390. So I had lost 85 pounds or I guess it was 75 pounds from the time I saw my doctor until I had this surgery. And so she made a comment to me about, oh, you did lose a lot of weight. I saw your weight was 390. And I said, well, actually my weight was more than that. But anyways, like I was saying, my confidence walking into the doctor's office. Oh, okay. Carrie's saying I was at that same office when I went in for my foot. So that would have been probably the record that they had is from Easter. That must have been Easter time. I think it was around Easter that I had that discomfort in my feet that was bad enough that I or no, it was, anyways. Yes, that's what it's from. I went to the same place for my foot problem that I had after the fast when I was at 390 pounds. And so that's how they had that record. Um, and so, uh, like going in, like, and they took my blood pressure before the surgery, and then when I don't even know if they did it when I went in for the appointment about my bicep, but my numbers were always in a great range. The lady said that my blood pressure was great, especially for somebody going into surgery. But like I said, I was confident that I was in the best position that I could be in physically right now from where I was. I'm not in the best position where I can be physically ever, but from 9 months ago, I couldn't be or 10 months ago, I couldn't be in a better spot physically from that starting point. And it's the choices that I've made in that time that have gotten me here. There's things about my choices I might not have done. That second distilled water fast, I don't know that I should have done it when I did it. The first water fast in itself, I don't believe I had to do it as long as I did to have the same success that I'm having, but I'm happy that I did it. I'm happy that I took the time to research and find what is what I believe the best option for a diet for somebody who was in my position. I mean, the idea of eating a whole food plant-based diet was never on my mind at the time. And, the things I looked up led me to it. And I'm happy that I made that choice. And I don't think even if I would have made other choices, I would have lost weight and I would still be doing well. And I would have stuck to whatever I was going to do, but I wouldn't be in a position where I ate 3 bowls of soup for dinner last night, and I feel no guilt about what I had because it was all plants and actual food, and the calorie count is extremely low. We don't count calories, so I don't know exactly what it was, but I'm not worried about throwing myself off of my diet in any way or being sick or giving myself, heart attack from eating so much different, I don't know, fat and meat. And anyways, it's just something where I'm extremely happy with where I'm at with the choices I've made. And I think that, it's definitely, no, I was talking about what I would have changed. And those are the big things is, I don't know that I would have pushed the fast so long. But again, I wouldn't have, I needed that time to do the research. I needed that time to experience what I had experienced. Cause that's what kind of like listening to people that were sharing their experience during their fasting of what they were doing at the True North clinic. And then kind of what it doesn't make sense to run a clinic and have 20,000 people come through it and have them do this extreme crazy fast. Like you're putting yourself and your credibility and your reputation up against and then to send them, there's a lot of diets they could recommend that would probably do well and that people would come off and they would still continue to lose weight and they would do fine. But it works. I can't deny where I'm at now versus where I was. It's just what they're recommending works for so many different situations. And my situation is one of those ones where I think it works. And I think many people's situations are ones where eating a whole food plant-based diet with no salt, oil, or sugar would be the answer. And you can, people will deny it and they'll downplay it and they'll fight it, but nobody's doing the diet and not having results. Like I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough people that have tried the diet, and there's other, I guess there was people that were on it, but I don't know. I'm just, I spent so much of my life gaining weight and feeling like shit because of the food I ate and getting heartburn. And I mean, I've thrown up so many times because I was overeating. Just like, just eating, that one extra piece of pizza, and then 2 hours later, like, yeah. And it's awful. And I'm so happy to be so far from that. Anyways, I am gonna head out of here today. It is getting dumb hot in this office. I've mentioned it before, but my AC is not working great. I do have a portable unit, but it kind of sucks too. Overall, in the office I'm in, and by the end of the day, it gets hot right now. So I am gonna get out of here because I am sweating pretty ridiculously right now. And I'll be back on tomorrow. Yeah, I think I'll be back on tomorrow. I don't know if I have anything. So Thursday, I have that therapy, and we have some other appointments during the day. Is the only day I can think of. I'm not gonna do weigh-in Wednesday this week. I'm gonna wait until the beginning of September to do my next weigh-in. Just kind of with the surgery and how everything was going. I just don't even really care about the scale right now. We got a lot going on. I have a busy time ahead of me for the next couple days or week at work, with some paperwork I need to get done. And so anyways, if you guys haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Click on the bell icon to turn on notifications so you get alerted when I go live, which is usually around 4 p.m. most weekdays. What works into my schedule, and then I do have a Discord that we've shared a lot of our recipes, and the foods that are kind of what we're eating right now are on there. That's kind of where the best resource for that kind of information is in the Discord. And that is in the description down below. That link should be active for 1 week. I also have an Instagram account. I really haven't done much as for posting on the Instagram account. It's not my thing, I guess. So, but that is at Fasting. That is FAHSTING. Anyways, thanks guys for checking this out. I am going to get out of here so I can get somewhere where the AC works. All right, you guys all have a great day. If you haven't started your diet, you need to get your diet started right now. There's no reason to wait. There's nothing coming up that's worth waiting for. You just need to start your diet right now.